thought I'd show a little more real gardening here. This is a carrot bed, carrot and cilantro on the side there, which is almost ready to bolt. But this is what the whole bed looked like. Right? You can see there's carrots in there, but it wasn't mulched, and I was lackadaisical. When it would have been easy to weed this, I didn't weed it. Well, when it was easy to weed this, I weeded half. And now it's very difficult and I have to do this. If I want to have decent carrots out of this bed, I have to address this weed problem. So just want to show you how. I mean, I've started over here, right? But look how bad it is, right? Anyway, probably take about half an hour to deal with this. Not fun, but necessary. Thought I'd just show this stage of it. I haven't got my tripod out here, so this is just handheld and a bit shaky camera work. But I'm pulling out weeds, and I'm trying to get them out by the roots. But if you can't, it doesn't matter, okay? Or at least in my experience, right? So you pull out as many as you can by it, to get the roots out and stuff. But, it would take forever to get it all out. So it's just like when you're doing work in a garden, you're always up against how much time do I want to do this? How much energy does my body have? How much can my joints take, especially in advanced years? So you have to strike a bargain with yourself, a bargain between perfection and adequacy. Okay, so there's still lots of weeds growing here, okay, like that. Now, two things you can do. If you want to be very thorough, you can put newspaper down and then put mulch over top. Or what I'm going to do is just put the mulch down heavy. Okay, this is just leaves. Use leaves, grass clippings, whatever you got. I get something thick. I would not use, at this stage in the season, I would not use straw. Straw lets a lot of light through, and you got to put it on really heavy to properly suppress weeds, straw or hay. But leaves, they smother the light out, right? So does grass clippings. Grass clippings really smother the light out. So what I think, and I find it works fairly well with most weeds. So what I think happens with the grass clippings, let's say for instance, is that we smother this whole thing with grass clippings. There's still energy in the roots of the ones we didn't pull completely. There's still a lot of weed seeds in the ground too, but forget about those. Okay, those will not germinate, or they should, most of them, the vast majority, I can't say all, but the vast majority will not germinate underneath the mulch. They just won't. But the plants that are still in the ground, like this one here, okay, they will try to grow underneath the mulch. They're going to, whatever energy is stored up in the roots, they're going to use that energy, invest it. Not invest it. Do a Hail Mary, right? They're going to put everything into growing foliage to try to find light. And as long as the mulch is heavy enough, it'll prevent them from doing that. Due to the lack of sunlight, the foliage will change and become more and more vulnerable to all the things that exist in soil that eat plants, right? Every plant has a natural, people always talk about pesticides, but plants produce their own pesticides. They all do. I picked most of these weeds. If I picked them up and tried to eat them, they would not taste good. Right, because they've got natural pesticides in them. But when they get starved for light and starved for sun, starved for energy, right, they use the energy to create the chemical compounds that are those pesticides that are in their leaves. When you starve them for light, all that sort of starts to go away, and they will get eaten. Right, the soil organisms, the plants become in a weakened state. They might get diseased and attacked by a fungus or attacked by anything else. Remember, there's more organisms in a teaspoon of soil than there are people on the earth, right? So there's all kinds of things just waiting to get at the plant and just waiting for the opportunity for the plant to be in a weakened state. By smothering it out with the mulch, you put the plant into that weakened state, and those weeds will just become fertilizer, right? They'll go in one end of some organism and come out the other end. And that might have multiple stages of that. Eventually, they'll become something your plants can take up and use to help them grow. All right, so it's a month later, and this is the state of that carrot garden with the mulch after it's been weeded and thinned. So you can see it's looking pretty good, right? very few weeds. You know, it has been weeded once since I made that last video footage, because, you know, weeds are inevitable. They, there's a lot of different, we use mulch, and we mulch our gardens, and we say it suppresses weeds, and it does, but it doesn't suppress all the weeds, right? And of course, the thicker you lay it on, the more weeds it suppresses. So, you know, if you haven't got a lot of mulch, you're going to have more weeds. But anyway, might have even been over a month. Yeah, because there was still black flies when I made that initial video, and that's sort of over. So, you know, I'd say it's been maybe a month and a half. So I got carrots that are about 14 inches high. They're still not ready to be harvested. I don't harvest carrots till like October, November, because the frost really makes them better. You can see the cilantro has totally matured and flowered and gone to seed. So I mean, I harvested some of that and used it, and I got a way of storing it, kind of like a pesto type thing. But I like letting them go to flower as well, because you get the free seeds, and it also is never a bad thing to have a whole bunch of flowers in the middle of your garden, because it brings a lot of different pollinators around. Not that I really don't have a problem with pollination. My garden's surrounded by a forest. There's flowering things everywhere all the time, but yeah, it never hurts to have a bunch of flowers in the middle of your garden, especially in this particular family. So yeah, I let that happen. It doesn't block the light so much that it affects the plants. You can see the carrots adjacent to the cilantro are the same height as these ones over here that have no competition for light, right? So they're doing just fine. But this has not been watered or fertilized or anything the entire time, and I got these nice healthy carrots, right? If I had not taken the time to do that intense weeding, a little patch there which was intensely, and the entire garden was like that. It was just, you could almost not see the carrots for the weeds, right? And I took the time to sort that all out. That probably took the better part of an hour, right? And then the weeding I did since then, the one time, maybe took 10 or 15 minutes. Just come out in the morning and get at it, right? Now, a lot of people spend money for a gym membership to spend 15 minutes on a treadmill every day, whereas I just come out here and, you know, find something to do for 15 minutes. I'm usually sweating by the time I'm done. If you don't think bending over, squatting down, and pulling weeds is a workout, I don't know what to say to that. It's a workout. You know it's a workout because your legs are sore and you're sweating when you're done. Even if you're not out of breath, you're sweating when you're done. Anyway, just wanted to show the state of it, you know, looking good. You know, there's still the odd weed. You never get them all out. But this is like 98% carrots now, and they're all doing great. With, you know, the only work was that weeding and the thinning and the mulching, right? I'll give them, you know, the thinning is really important to ensuring that they achieve size. I mean, small carrots are fine, but if you want to have, you know, carrots of a decent size, each plant should be at least 2 inches apart. You know, I don't follow that religiously, but I try to strive for carrots and parsnips. At least 2 inches apart is a good rule of thumb most of the time. You can bend that rule and you can break it. That's not a hard fast rule, but it's a good rule of thumb. All right, so that's where we are. It's like the middle of August now. I'll put it up on the screen when I film the initial footage of that video. But yeah, pretty good. You know, not a lot of work to maintain a nice. I'm going to get a lot of carrots out of this garden. It's going to be great. So I found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching. Hey folks, if you live in the USA and want to help support the channel, check out the Hudson Valley Seed Company and use my coupon code MARITIME10 to get a 10% discount on whatever you buy. In addition, all seed orders over $35 will get free shipping. They have a great selection of seeds, so maybe give that a try this year, and that'll help support everything I'm doing here. Thanks a lot.